Testing 1, 2. Okay. Look like we got some people joining the chat here. Glad. Still waiting for a few more people to join the chat. Shalom Israel. We ISUPK start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana, we started in 1969, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribe of Israel. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. You're not in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, you're not in the truth. Officer CHAAZAQ SHAPAR, teaching the LASHAWAN QADASH class here in Simpsonville, Georgia, Greenville area, and ISUPK. And of course, LASHAWAN is a class that we teach on Friday night. It's our mother language, man. We have the ancient Hebrew and the Assyrian Hebrew as we outline in the chart. Still wait for people to get in the chat. And more people look like we have somebody in the chat already. We teach the LASHAWAN QADASH in the ancient and the Assyrian, and it has characters, characters of sounds. Look like we have Officer Sharp putting in the, let me see what he has there. Yeah, he does. Always remember to check into the chat that Officer Sharp's put in there, so that we can get you guys a Hebrew name, after your 6 months period of trying, of checking in, man. We're going to reward you. That's one of the rewards, a Hebrew name. If you be diligent, patient, and that's, that's ISUPK way, man. Be diligent and be patient. And, of course, always conduct yourself in a decent order, men and women, of course, as you check into the chat. So just make sure you fill that out. We're going to ask a few questions as we wait for more and more people to check in. The first thing we'll ask, we know you guys had a long, trying week here. But also, Hebrew has so many characters in it. We're going to ask you, how many characters does it have while you sit up, while we're waiting patiently for other people to check in the class? I'm glad we have Rebecca Shar in class, have other people checking in. How many characters are there in Hebrew? When we say Abba Gada Hawazaka Tayakala Manasa Ipa Taza Kwarashata. When we point to that chart and we go through that, and we said in the ancient Hebrew, you're saying it as well in the Assyrian, because the sounds are sounding the same. Of course, in the Yiddish people over there in Germany, of course, in our motherland over there, those German-speaking people over there, they say words that have U's and E's and all kinds of things in there that's not part of the original, They use the Assyrian Hebrew language in the picture form, but they desecrate how it sounds and spelled, and it's called Jesus, or his name is Yahweh. They say Yeshua, some craziness, man, some silliness. But you know, that's because they don't understand the Hebrew characters and vowels that we represent. And that's why we're here. That's why we talk about it every week. Glad you to join us. We talk about this because we want our people to get used to understanding how the Most High has given the LASHAWAN, or the tongue. You know, it's just another tongue. That's just the original tongue. The original tongue is Hebrew. You know, that's the original tongue the Most High gave Adam as he looked in the stars, man, and he, you know, we don't expect you to, that's not your job. That was Adam's job to look up there. And as a matter of fact, how you think he named all the animals? You know, he came up with names for things, man. The Bible says this, and that's what it is. So when he come up with the Hebrew language, man, the Most High gives the Hebrew language, I'm sorry, and Adam looked at it and he named the animals. He was using this language here. And of course he was using that top row up there. That's the original language. And of course in captivity, the Assyrians, you know, those I believe that was this fake Jews, fake Assyrians, Sephardic, I believe, something like that. I can't remember. I'll remember that a little bit here. But anyway, they when we were in Assyria, man, they come up with these wild. They give you, for instance, they so while we wait for people to check in, the Ashkenazi, the Assyrian language. Let's put it this way, that's an ah. Okay. But of course, in the original Hebrew, the ah looks like this. That's what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like. Looks like what it's ah. And if you look at the alphabet today, it matches with our characters. We use characters, some of it, not all of them, but some of them. If you look at this, you can see how people steal and take from our language, man. Because you can see this is an A turned up on this end. Turned upside down, turned sideways, ah. And of course, the ah in the Syrian looks like that, but ah in the ancient, the original, looks like that. You know? Now that's been the case. Those are called characters. In Hebrew, we use characters, man, because your characters. See who else we have checking in? Good. Yeah. Okay. And we have more people checking in here. We use characters, man, and the characters create a sound. That's what you want to get. That's what you want to learn from this class. You want to learn their characters. We don't use alphabet. Excuse me, it's like we use characters. And the characters create a sound. That's what we're saying when we say ah, ba, ga, da. Now let's see what we have in class, Rebecca. Hey, listen. How many characters do we have in the Hebrew language? I know we talked about it last week. Since you're there, tell me how many characters are there. How many characters are actually in the let's say the ancient. Let's say the ancient first, and then we'll, if you got time there, we'll go to the, well, not time, but the understanding. Tell me how many characters are there in the Assyrian Hebrew language. Let's see. We have an answer here already, don't we? Oh, good. Let's clap it up for Rebecca. She said, clap it up for her sister. She said 22, and she's right. She's correct. Because there are 22 characters in the ancient Hebrew language, you know. But now, and then in contrast to that, let's see, I think she came in another. Oh, yeah, she said 27. She's on the ball there. 27. That's 27 characters in the Assyrian language because they've added 5 extra characters. And those are called, what are they called? Since you're in the chat right there. What are those 5 extra characters? I put vowels down there. I didn't mean that. Sloppy. There's 27 extra characters in the Assyrian, okay? Now, how many, since we're there, let's lock it for a second here. It says 22, so there's 5 extra if you subtract 27 from 22. So just talking, you know, how many extra, those extra characters, that's 5 extra. So what are they used for? Just give me a little, not a whole thesis, just a small little synopsis or understanding, just a little sentence, or just tell me, you know, you don't have to do a whole lot of writing about it. What does those 5 extra characters, where they come from, and what are they used for? What are they used for? You know? What are those 5 extra characters in the Assyrian language used for? Because we know the characters in the Hebrew, on the ancient Hebrew, only has 22 characters. And they're exactly the same as your Assyrian characters, except for 5 of them. And of course, they look different. Yes, they look different. There's the difference I'm telling you right here. You know, that's what an asset looks like, and that's what a looks like in ancient. We'll write that down, ancient. Okay? But there's 27 Assyrian characters right there. So what are the other 5 used for? We'll give you a few seconds. See if you can remember from last week. Since Rebecca, you're writing there. What are the other characters used for? What are they used for? You know. We'll give you a few seconds there before we give you the answer. I mean, it's a you know this. It's like you use the what did we say last week? I think it was the ka, the ma, and the na, and the pa, and the tazah. They're used for something. So what do you see? She has an answer here. She said, it is for the independence ending. You're so close. I'll give you that, but I wouldn't call it independent. We'll get to what independent mean here in a second when it comes to the ancient. But right now, when you say ending, that's right. They're called the ending characters, Rebecca. So clap it up for it, sister, right there. Clap it up for it. Exactly right. They're called the ending connectors. The ending connectors. That's what they're called. All right. Since you said that, and you're that's the reason why I say you're so close. Well, let me get me on an eraser here. Hold a minute. Exactly right. You're right, sis. Yeah, there you go. Now, and she's right. So they're called ending connectors, ending characters. I'm sorry, ending character. Write that. Make sure you write that in your notes because it's important. We'll say they're called ending characters. Ending characters. Since there are 27 characters there, 5 of them are ending characters. Oh, I spelled that. Oh, I know I spelled that wrong. Let's do it right. Let's do it this way. Characters. There we go. Characters. There we go. With a C in there. It's lucky. Okay. So those ending characters, there are 5 of them in the Assyrian. And they're used, you'll see them. It's the ka, the ma, the na, the pa, and the tazah. And we went over that last week. We don't have to go over that again. But the ending characters, the ending characters tell you, like when you use a word, and we'll go over that here and when we do our sentence structure. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Now, let's get to how many vowels there are. How many vowels are there in Hebrew? Since you know this. Okay, so far we said 22, we said 27 for the Assyrian. That's how many characters, and there are 5 ending characters. Let's get to the vowels. How many vowels are there in Hebrew? And what are they? She says 2. Very good. Let's put a 2 right there. That's exactly right. Let's clap it up for that sis right there. She's right. She's exactly right. That's 2. And that's exactly right. And what are they? Type it up in the chat. You know what they are? Type them up. Type up those characters in the chat. What are they? Not characters, but yeah. Well, there's 2 characters. So, what are those characters? What are those vowels? When you hear Abagada Hawa Zakata Yakala Manasa Ipata Zakwara Shata, you're hearing something there. So, fill me in. Let me know. She says the and the I. That's what she said. That's what she's saying right here. She's saying the I looks like this. Sort of like that. Well, like that. And of course the I looks like this in the ancient. The bottom row here is the and the I. Top row is the and the I. That's what they look like. Okay, clap it up for that sis right there. And it's good to know that. So let's make the I look like that. It's good to know that, because when you're doing, as we have more people joining class, Salakia. Yeah, as you have more people join class, you'll see even more and more participation. But I appreciate your participation, Rebecca. Now what we have is the I, and it's good to know what vowels are, because there's only 2, like in the American language, this language that we learn, and in our oppressor language, man, this slave language, this dog eat dog America, this Babylon that's fallen. They have A-E-I-O-U, sometimes Y. That's there. We learned that in school, and now it's time for us to go to school and learn what we have here. So we know that there's 22 characters in the ancient. There is 27 characters in the Assyrian, okay? And there are 5 ending characters. 5 ending characters. 5 in the Syrian, okay? And those ending characters are Ka, Ma, Wa, Pa, and Taza. Of course, we've gone over that. Got Daquan. Glad to have you in class, Daquan, with your participation, bruh. Got Daquan, all right? So we've established all that. Now, I want somebody to type in the chat here as we go on, because we're going to go on a little further here. We have what we call, what are these called here? What is this right here? We're going to go to we're going to concentrate on the ancient right now. Okay? We're going to concentrate on the ancient. Oh, I spelled that wrong. That's a C there. Well, my spelling horrendous. But check this out. Daquan, glad to have you in class. You and Rebecca. Check this out. There's an upside down U and a regular U. What are those? I think Rebecca said it earlier. And Daquan, you help it out a little bit. Glad to have you checking in from Greenville. Yeah. I mean, what I think she said, like, I'll give you a hint, because she said independent. So we'll put that word down, remember? Independent. Okay, one of those are independent. Independent what? Which one? Matter of fact, let's just go right to it. One of these are independent, and then we talk about the ancient Hebrew now, because the Syrian doesn't have this. And so what are they? You said connector. Good. Connector. Okay. Now what's the other one? If those are connectors, independent connector, which one is independent? This one or that one? Let's put the one. We'll put it right here. Here's the left, and here's the right. All right. Which one is independent? And which one is dependent? The one on the left or the one on the right? We'll let you guys decide, because if I tell you, you won't remember it. You'll remember what you come up with. Rebecca said the one on the left. Clap it up for that sis right there. The one on the left. This independent right here. Exactly right. That's independent. Why is that independent? Because when you use a word, and let's give you, for instance there, let's use a word like, okay, before we go on, before we get into illustration, what's the one on the right? Since we know it's independent connector. What kind of connector? What do you call that connector on the right there? If that's independent, what's the one on the right? What do we use it for? Well, so we do this for the benefit of their people, not necessarily people in the class, but there are people, there's thousands of people look at these classes, man, that don't check in, but they're listening to what we say. So your participation is helping them, okay? She put dependent, good, because that's what it is. Dependent connector, good. Dependent, okay? And that's what this is. This is a dependent connector right here. So, now, right, that's exactly right. So we use word like, let's use a word like mayam, water, okay? We say a word like, let's use it, we're going to have to use it in, we're kind of going over the class here real quick before we get into the sentence structure, just for a refresher because people are looking in. All right, we use a word like water. Water. And water, that word for water is like the heavens, like mayam, or you would say mayam. Okay? And you spell mayam like this. Ma. Okay? Where's ma? Okay, this is how you break the word down, because that's what we're doing. And of course, we want to use the characters over there on the board. Ma, ya, here. Then we got to use another M, right? Like this. So we say ma and yam, like that. And that's how that's done. So that's very, 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 I mean, you know, it's not nothing, no tricking or anything. But dependent and independent connection in the ancient Hebrew are used like this. You want to say ma by itself because it's an independent sound. Right, Dewan? Right, Rebecca? Exactly. Glad that Dewan Kear's looking at us there. And Rebecca so far. Shards in class. Ma. By itself. It holds its own. So when you say ma, you're pronouncing that word ma. Okay? By itself. And over here you're saying, you're using a ya. That symbol represents the sound ya. Little laid back Z. And of course you're using a ma there. Slakia. Ma. So, independent sound, ma. But when you want to say the word ya, like you would yam or something like that, but it's not a ya. It's called, and that's Yiddish people do that kind of stuff. But if you want to say this sound right here, this yam, you want to say ya and ma together. Yum. And you, because you have, we talked about this before, you can drop, because the ya represents the whole sound of Y and A, ya. The ma doesn't need the A behind it because it's being joined with the sound ya. So you have yum. So you have my yum. Just like this. I got you, I understand. Sorry for this. No, you're doing a great job. Dewan and Rebecca, you guys doing a great job, okay? Independent connectors. Water, mayam. That's what that word looks like. So let's see, and that's how you use connectors. That's how you know, dependent in the ancient Hebrew language. That's how you use independent and dependent connectors, just like that. That's what we found on our reliefs. It's all under the stones, man, and things. When we turn over artifacts, you see things that have these little symbols on them. They're independent, dependent, connect. They help us to pronounce our words. That's really what it is. That's how it's done. Okay. So let's see what this word looks like. So I'll give you guys a few more seconds to write that in your notes. Okay. 22 characters, 5 ending characters. In the Assyrian, 27 characters total. Okay, but there's only 22 in the ancient. There's 27 in the Assyrian. There's 5 of those are ending characters. All right, and out of those characters, you form your words in the ancient by using independent and dependent connectors, just like we've illustrated here. The word water, or mayam. Okay. If I were to take that same word, mayam, and put it in the, let's see if we can go over this here. See if we can get Dewan and Rebecca, Daquan, I'm sorry. Quan. See if you guys can get the, understand this. If I were to write this in Assyrian, I write it pretty big here, like this. Okay? And if I were to write it like I was going to write it the same if I did mayam down here, if I were to do it like this, it would look like this. Okay? All right? And then, of course, you have to have this, like that. That's an M. And then why? Why do we do that? Because this right here, this represents an M. This is an M. This is Ma. This is Ya. And that's Ma. Ma Yam, which means water. Of course, you drop the A, you don't really need it right here, but you can't really tell because it doesn't have connectors in the Assyrian language, and that's what this is in the Assyrian language, okay? In the Assyrian language, when you use mayam, you don't really need that. And that's what we're doing right here. Mayam. You don't need it, but you say ma-yam. Okay? But you have to use what we call an ending character. That's the special character we was talking about. One of the ending 5 ending characters, this M right here, that one right there, that ending character. That ending character, okay? And that's good. And that's good to know. Because that ma. And this can be done on all the words that you use. Any word that you can pronounce. If you gotta pronounce it, how does it sound? Mayam. And that's how it sounds in the English, but you gotta be able to spell it in the Assyrian. And that's what this is. And or if you don't use Assyrian, you'd have to be able to spell it in the, we'll make this look like a little bit better like this. You have to be able to spell it in the ancient, which when you use connectors. But in this case, we're going to do it in the Assyrian. Of course, that's what we're doing. Like that. Okay? That's what that looks like. Mayam. Okay? That's Assyrian. All right? Now, we'll move on. We'll move on a little bit further because we got people joining the class here. Let me see, it's locking for a second. Y'all put that in your notes right there real quick. Quan. Let's see here. Let's see who else we got in here. Let me see here. Hold this lock up a second here. I'm trying to pick up everybody. It's locking. Okay. All right. Okay. So, let's go, yeah. Let's go back to our, okay, let's go back to the board here. So if you got that written down, you guys understand that. So, shit. It's a lot. Okay. Let's move on further here. Let's move on to let's move on to another word. Let's move on to some sentence structure here. You guys in class, you know, now that we understand the basic rules, let's get into a sentence right here. I mean, what is this saying right here? Somebody tell me, break this down. What is this saying? I wrote it in the Assyrian, and I wrote it in the ancient. Hebrew. Okay? That's what I did. So I want you guys, let's see if you guys are awake and attentive. All this is the Assyrian and this is the ancient. That's people. I want you guys to tell me, what does this say? In the first, like we've talked about before, in order to understand what something says, you first have to break it down in English, you know, because that's the language that we're pronouncing here. Let's break it down. I mean, how do you say that? I've written it down in Assyrian and ancient. So let's break down, what does this actually say right here? We'll give you guys some time. What does that actually say? I know you guys are cooking and drinking your mayam and your yan, your wine, you know. So all these are saying the same thing, but one's in Syrian and one's in ancient. So tell me, and take your time. Take your time and break down, what is this saying? What's a sentence? Take your time. It's a sentence. And we talked about it last week, and we just kind of refreshed, and we'll get into some more. But you guys take your time. You know, I'm going to explain it to you, but I want to give you guys a chance to take your time and break down what this is saying right here, because it's written in two different languages, and they're both the same sounds, but different character writing. You know, that's what you want to get and understand. So let's figure it out. Write it down when you get a chance. Write it down in the chat what you think it is. What are these sounds here? What are they making? What does that spell in English? They're the same thing, they're just one's Assyrian and one's ancient. Now I use the connectors down here. That's what I use. So, tell me. What do we got here? What are these sounds? Alright, let's see. Let's see what Rebecca has. She has alright, let's see what she got. She has K Kamasha. Come on, of course we write Hebrew from right to left, and I'm assuming that's what you've gotten here. Hebrew from right to left here. Let's see. Let's break it down what she's got here. She's got Kamasha Hama. Alright. This right here. No, it's not a problem. It's not a problem if you got it. Well, we're gonna break it down and show you right here what this is. This is a ma right here. Not a problem. Okay? That M, that's a ma. And that's why, you know, that's the whole point. The whole point in sentence structure is to learn the Hebrew chart, you know. That's the whole point. That's what we're trying to do, okay? And this is ha. Okay? That's ha. And of course this is sha. That's not a problem. This is my job to break it down to you. Sha, that's a ma. And this is a ka. Alright? Well, there we go. And of course Hebrew is written. You might have how do I go from right to left? Exactly. Well, in right to left, what you want to do is instead of going left to right here, just if you would write that, you would write the this word first. This is the right over here. This is the right side over here. And then write this word next. So the word will be maha. So let's write that down. Let's write that. It's the same thing down here. So what is maha? Maha. Of course, in English, you have to write it from right to left. I mean from left to right. So that's not a problem, right? So we write maha, ma'a. Okay, and ma'a in the Hebrew says something. You know, that's what this is. It's just and we have CHAAZAQ checking in. Glad to have you checking in, CHAAZAQ. Trooper CHAAZAQ. Okay. Slack. And CHAAZAQ checking. I'm sorry. Ma'a means this. It means what? Okay. It's not a problem. But that's what this word interprets right here. Well, how do you know that? Because this is an M and that's a H and ma'a. Of course, I looked it up, but that's what you're learning here. Write that down in your notes. Ma'a means what? And you'll build your vocabulary because this is sentence structure that we're doing here, okay? Not a problem. CHAAZAQ is watching, Daquan's watching, and Rebecca's watching. Good. Ma'a. And then, of course, over here, we talked about this last week. You have a word sha. Sha, like this. Sha, that's this, that W looking thing there is sha. And of course, like I reiterate again, when we're writing it down in English, we always write it right to left. Just flip it. Okay, that's why I did. And of course, in English, you have to write down left to right, like we always do, because that's our language. That's what we do. Okay. So we have sha, then we have another M or a ma. That's a ma right there. So we have sham right there, and over here we have one of those special ending characters. because this is still Syrian, remember? And of course, if you look over here, you have the same thing. Sham, right there. Sham. Okay? I'm sorry. Ma'a. It makes one sound. What am I saying? And then Sham is right here. Sham, and then you have Ka over here. You have Sham. And then we have Ka right there. Okay? Mahasham Ka. Except you want to drop this A right here. You don't need that A. That Maha, you don't need the A because look over here. Now if you look at the Assyrian, it's kind of hard to tell because you're trying to carry that that Ha sound right there, that A. You don't need that ah there. Over here, this tells you why. Because it has a dependent connector like this. This little upside down U, remember we talked about that? That joins two sounds together. And then you have to do some vowel dropping when you do that. So that's what you do. So ma and ha together spells maha. You need the A here. You need that A or ah. Because it's the full sound, remember? But over here you have the ha, so it's maha. It means what? And when you go to here, you have sham, or right here, sham. This sha and then ma. You can't tell they're connected until you get down here in the ancient. Sham. And then you have ka by itself. And that's what this is. Ka. Now, what does that mean? What is it saying? It's saying, what is your name? Because name, we don't really need that, but we're going to put this. It is saying, what's your name? Or what is your name? Okay, like that. Why do we say your name? We say your name because ka is a possessive adjective, and it means your. It's a possession of your. That's what it means. Okay? When you say ka, let me see if I can point to it right here. Yeah, ka, the possessive adjective for ka is just equal to, that's equal to ka. And you always put the possessive adjective in back of the noun right there because it's possessing the noun. It's telling the noun that I want to I want to give a direction of understanding that I want to say your name. I could have said their name, I could have said his name, her name, but I said your name. What's your name? And that's how we talk in black talk anyway. We don't just say like we did learn in school, what is your name properly. Just say what's your name? Or what's your name? What's your name? Just like that. And that's what you're really saying here. What's your name? Ka. You put it in the back. That's telling you, it's telling Sham that what is your name. It's bringing it out, man. Because the word for Sham in Sham is equal to, let's put it up there, is equal to name. Sham equals name, okay? Sham is equal to name. That's what it means, of course. And of course, ka is equal to your. And that's how we put that together. And so that's actually a question. It's asking a question. It's an interrogative sentence there. It's asking you, what is your name? And if you can do this in anything that you're doing in the Hebrew language, you can use a lot of sentences like that. And that's what we're going to go over. Maybe one or two, you know. A lot of people haven't gone over the some other things. So that's what we're going to do as people. But that's how. Let's go over it again. I mean, you see how like up here in the Assyrian language, you can't really tell all of this that's going on. You just see Ma'ah. Then you see Shamaka, Shama, Shamka, Shamka. That's what you see. Shamka, Ma'ashamka. You see it better down here is what it is. Because you see what you got to do. Ma'ah. You have to join that together. Then you say, over here in the ancient language, why ancient language is the original Hebrew, man. You guys write this down in your notes because this is a good, I've written this down before, but this is a good understanding. You know, if you're writing it down, Ma'ashamka, that's exactly right. So that's how you do it. Ma'ashamka is how it's written. It's really written like that. And I'm just going over and telling you what this means because you build your vocabulary by understanding Shama's name, okay? Ka is a possessive adjective. So we'll write PA above there. It's a possessive adjective. It's an adjective modifies the noun. And that's what this is. This is a noun. Okay? People wanted sentences written down, and that's what we're doing. We're writing down some sentences, and I'll write another one here that I want to explain. Because if you can do one sentence, you can do them all. You just need to learn some what to drop, possessive adjectives. You need to learn some prepositions and things like that, and learn some vocabularies and learn some rules. And that's what I'm teaching here. That's how Hebrew language is. But once you learn it, and remember, always write from what? From right to left. It always goes from right to left. So once you know that, you write right to left. That's how you're reading it first. Then you take that right to left and then you write it. You have to, since we write in English, I mean, if we were in a country that wrote from right to left, we can sit here and write from right to left and you would understand it. But since we're in America, this slave country up here that we were put off of a ship, banned and thrown over here and thrusted into this and learn English, we have to write things down with the alphabet language that we learn. But Ma'ah, that word, if I was in my original country, I would never see M-A-H. I would look at it just like this, Ma'ah, and I would know what that means. Okay, it'd always be from right to left. If any questions out there, just let me know. But I'm just kind of letting you know. Write this down in your notes when you get time. I'll give you time right here because I want to reiterate so when you understand this, you don't want to be in a hurry to learn Hebrew. You want to make sure it sinks in and make sure you understand what this is because the Syrian and the ancient, it can be complicated if you let it. Anything, you either know it or you don't. And if you don't know it, then you get around to learning. And hey, ask questions. Let's find out, hey, what's going on here? Right Quan, right CHAAZAQ, right Rebecca. That's what I'm saying. Y'all make sure y'all understand how to write this down. But that's what this is. That's all we're doing here is writing down. All we're doing here is writing down a sentence structure, and it's a basic one. It's just a basic question. So we give you guys a few more seconds to write that down before I erase that and move on to something else. But you did a fantastic job of understanding it so far, and that's what we want you guys to understand. So write that. Give you guys a few seconds to write that down. That's a few seconds. Give you guys a few seconds to write that down so you have a good understanding of how sentences are written. That's a basic. It's a basic sentence because it only involves two words. but there's a lot going on there because you use a possessive adjective ka. It's actually really, if you would have said in the English, going to one of some of these East Edomite teachers over there, they wouldn't say, "What's your name, man?" They don't talk like we talk. They would say, "What is your name?" I'm just trying to tell you, that's how they write, That's how they write something. You know what I'm saying? Or we might say, we don't use like is, like they use what is your name and your name. But the word your itself is taken care of by a possessive adjective. Remember, all I did was just make your an adjective. That's what that is, PA, a possessive adjective. That's all I did was making an adjective so that it can take hold to Sham and say, okay, look, we're going to join y'all together and say your name. Because you have to be specific when you use possessive adjectives. So you'll know what's going on. Okay? Now, we're going to erase this, and we're going to put down something else here. We're going to put down another sentence here. Get into it real quick here. Let's see here. What is your name? That's what that is. That's what that said. And be patient with me here while you guys are drinking your water and your wine and your yam and your yan. We're going to get into another sentence and have you guys break it down. And all you got to do, all you're trying to do is write down in English what you see the Assyrian characters and the ancient characters say. Just write it down in English. That's all you're trying to do. That's all you're really trying to do. We're not trying to make anything more complicated than that. Okay? So, all right, let's see. Let's write another one here. Let me see how much, what we got to do. Because I'm just trying to get you to understand, because somebody wants to understand, man, how do I write sentences? And you write sentences by knowing vocabulary. I've been saying that from day one. By knowing your vocabulary, by knowing the sentence structure, by understanding possessive adjective, by understanding prepositions, by understanding a lot of vocabulary. Okay, so let's write down in here. Let's write down this right here. Let's see. I said, what is your name, right? Let's see. Yeah. Let's write this one down. Since we just did that one, let's try this one. We'll make it sort of the same here. Okay, so let's write this. Let's see if I got enough room to write this. Yeah, I do. Let's see. Remember, you write from right to left, right? Always write Hebrew from right to left. That's the whole point, okay? Let's see, what are we doing here? Oh, yeah. Okay. There. All right, well, let's write it down in ancient while we at it. Then that'll help you a little bit better, right? What am I trying to do here? Oh yeah, lock. We were writing down a sentence, remember? Okay. Now we're going to write it down in another Hebrew language here, and this is the ancient. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put the connectors up here so you guys can see this a little better. Okay. Now, and then you don't have to guess it. All you gotta do is just understand, first of all, what's the character saying, and then use the connectors to confirm how they go together. That's all you're doing. Okay? So you guys take your time on this right here. One is the Assyrian. Put it over here. This is the Syrian. And this is the ancient. Give some room here. There we go. Two different languages. They contrast each other because they look different, but they sound exactly the same. And all I did was write the connectors down on one, and it's still saying something. Remember, you want to write Hebrew from right. This is the right side to left. So when you write down in English, you'll reverse it. You'll write down in English what you saw from right to left. That's how you do it. So take your time. You ain't no hurry. Just take your time. I know you guys are busy cooking, and enjoying your CHAAZAQ, Quan. Take your time. Participate in class, man. Okay? Guys, take your time to write that down. And take advantage of the ancient because it exposes it. It tells you the connectors, man. That's what it's telling you right there. All right? Take your time. Ah, look at Rebecca. She's playing around up here. She's got this right here. She's followed instructions. That's what she has down. Anybody else, take your time. That's what she has. Y'all verify. Let's see before I put my stamp on it and say. Y'all take your time. She's written, and look, she's written something down from right to left. She wrote it down in the English course from left to right. Of course, just take your time and write it down. Y'all, other people participating in class right there. Take your time. I'll give you about 10 more seconds right there. All right. I'll take your time. Take your time. What you got? She has this right here. So she wrote it down. All right. Just clap it up for the sister right there. Just clap it up for class right there. Very good job. Very good job. This saying maha or ma'ah, because over here with these connectors you can drop just like we did last time. I just repeated the word just for clarity. So ma'ah means what? What did we say ma'ah meant? It means what? Okay? And maybe I should have put down another, and I guess I forgot. Yeah, I did. Y'all forgive me here. I should have put down the ka here. I just forgot it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Salakia. We'll have to put it up here also. So, like this. That's the ka. I forgot it. Forgive me. Don't beat up on me. All right. But this is ga wa ya, and then of course we want to put over here. Salakia. The ka, and then just plain old just didn't put it up there. But if I was to put it, it will look like this. That's ka. Okay. And the reason why I say ka is because I want to use that again up here. I want to use right there. I want to use up here ka because I want to say gawa ya ka. That means what is your nation? I mean, in other words, what it is, it's basically saying where you're from. Or I could have said where, but I just want to know what is your nation. Okay? So it's ma'a gawa ya ka. Gawa ya ka. Ga wa ya ka. So all those are independent sounds there. Gawa ya ka. Up here is gawa ya ka. In the connector ka. And then of course I want to say, what is your nation? Is what I'm saying. Because gawa ya means nation. Okay? In other words, what I'm really saying to a person when you say that, you're asking them what is their nationality. That's what you're really saying. You want to know where they come from. You want to get to the point. Yeah, that's gawa ya ka. Yeah, there you go, gawa ya ka. It's my fault. Said I didn't. So this is so ka again is a preposition and it's equal to your. Okay. So I put it at the end because it's a possessive adjective. Again, possessive adjective. Okay. All right. And gawa ya is nation. So I'm saying what. It's like saying what's like this or what is. In the English, you would say like that. I would say what nation. Or I can just go, I can say what nation are you from. I can do all that. But all I got to do is says ma'a gawa ya ka. That means what's your nation. People know what that is. That's an interrogative statement, and it's saying it's a question. It's asking you. You vetting somebody. You want to know. But that's how you would say it in Hebrew. Is all I'm saying. So you would say it in English. You say, "What's your nation, man? Where you from?" They give you all this other stuff. Of course. But anyway, ma'a gawa ya. Why do I have pa up there? Where you see pa? Where you see pa at? Which letter is pa? Which one? This is ma'a gawa ya ka. That's a ka. That is a ka. That's an Indian connected ka. And up here you have ma'a gawa ya ka. I'm above the ka. Where do you see that at? Above the ka. You mean here? That says ka. That's K-A. And if I got it, it's supposed to say ka. I mean, that looked like a ka to me, but I'll write it again. Ka, like that. How about that? That's ka. Is that better? And up here, this is a ka. What I had up there before is I said, what nation? But when I put the ka on the end, you're talking about here. That said, okay, no. That doesn't mean pa. It's okay. I abbreviate. It means possessive adjective. I got it. As a matter of fact, let me write it out a little better so you won't think it's a pa. I understand what you're saying. It's like possessive. Let me write it down right here. Adjective. Sorry for abbreviation. That's what I get for abbreviating things. That's what that ka is. It's a possessive adjective. I got it. I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Possess pa, and I shouldn't have done that because, and it's lucky because pa looks like that looks like a pa, and then of course it's not a pa. You know, a pa in the which language you want. A pa, of course, looks like it's, you know, it's going to look like this in the Syrian, like that. And of course, if you want to look for that same pa, if you want to look for it right here, that's what it looks like. This is in the ancient, and that's of course in the Syrian right there. That's pa, but I don't think you meant that. I think, yeah, got you. Yeah, but anyway, that's that pa actually. Understand, the pa actually. So it's really not a pa. I'm just trying to tell you that ka means your, and it is a possessive adjective, and that's something that you want to know. It's asking a question. What's your nation? Where you from? You know, that's what you're vetting somebody. You know, what's your nation? You know, I'm gonna give you another one more up here. Sentence structure. I thought I'd have a lot more people because they're the ones who asked for sentence structure tonight, and that's what I'm showing everybody. You know. Okay. All right. Ma'a, ga, wa, ya, ka. Ma'a, what is, or what's. And of course, is itself is hawa ya. You don't need that. You don't have to say all that. You don't have to say, what is your name? Just say, what's your name? Oh, I'm sorry, what is your nation? You don't have to say, ma'a, ga, wa, ya. I'm sorry, you don't have to say ma'a hawa'a gawa ya. You can just say ma'a gawa yaka. And that's saying, what is your name? What is your nation? It's like we had got my mind still on shamka. But that's how you would say it. And I'm just using the word, interrogative word here to let you know. It's a question. That's good. That's one of your first start of sentence structure. Is to understand basic sentences is just ask a few questions, you know. That's a basic sentence, and you can get into more and more technical questions. More and more technical questions. I'm just trying to let me see here, wait a minute. Trying to get you guys to understand that, there we go. Trying to get you to understand that basically, once you understand small basic sentences right here, you can understand large sentences. And I can write a sentence here, I can take, let's say, the Lord's Prayer, or I can take any sentence and just start writing. Because once you understand the Hebrew, you'll understand what's needed. Your adjectives, your possessions, your question mark, your interrogatives, you know, your what's, when, where, why. You know, if I were to say who, maya, or when, mafya, when I want to say when. Now, when are you coming home? I could say something like that. Or what's your nation? Like what I'm saying right here. Ma'agawayaka. You know, that's why, like I said, I forgot the ka right here. But then I found it. I make mistakes. But anyway, here's the point. Let's go. Ancient right here. This is the ancient. This is the ancient up here. This is the Syrian right here. And this is the ancient right here. Got a whole lot of difference. They sound exactly the same, but you guys can agree that it's a lot easier to understand the ancient Hebrew because it breaks it down for you. Ma'ah. Ma'ah. Dependent connector, remember? All right? Yeah, I can say that. I'll put it up there. Matter of fact, I'll write it up there. I can put that one up there too if you wanted to. Where interrogative, if you like you interrogatives, huh? Slocky. But I got one more up here that I want to get into real quick here. Lock. Okay. All right, let's see. Slocky. Bear with me here for a second here. Let me see. What did you want here? What did you want? Oh, where is your home? Okay, got you. So we want to say something like, where is your home? We want to say where, we'll use that one. Okay? We'll break that sentence down here real quick here. We'll say something like, slocky. Yeah, there we go. Make sure I understand it here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We said something like this, like that. So we say, and then we'd say, we'll put this on the end. There we go. That's what you want to say right there, okay? When you want to say, where's your home? You want to say, Ayah, Bayafka. Ayah, Bayafka. That's where's your home. That's an interrogative statement. Okay? And we'll break that down. As you're saying basically, Ya, Ayah, and you're saying Bayath, because that means house or home, okay? You can say this is where's your house, or you can say, you can use a word like Shana, which means your, but you don't have to say that. you can say ka, which means, which is your possessive adjective again, remember? And I can use a word, and say, I can say shana, which means your, but you don't have to do that. You don't even have to use haya, is. You don't have to use that. You don't have to use that word. All I have to do is just say aya bayafka. Aya bayafka. Got it? If you understand that, say, ka. You don't have to say where is. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to say shana. I don't have to say aya shana bayaf. I don't have to say aya bayafka. That's saying the same thing. I mean, since you wanted that, where's your home? That's deviant from my lesson study, but I can write it down simply because you wanted to know that. You're stupid, So aya, okay, which means where. All right? Where, that's what it means. Bayaf, that right there, which means home or house. Same thing, house, home, same one, you say the other. If you understand that, you guys understand this, write that down. We don't have to say where is. And that's like saying where is, it's like saying where is your house? Okay, and of course, ka, it is saying where is your house. Aya bayafka. And of course, in masculine, you have to make sure you understand the different forms right there. And you can write that. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Preposition in this case, let me make sure I got that right here. Did I write that right? Yeah, ka, male. Yeah, it can be male or female when you're saying ka. Of course, if you want to say female, if you want to say his house, where is his house, you say wa, bayafwa. If you want to say her house, you say bayafha. So I'll say it again. When you want to say where is your home, you say ya. That's where. That's as a matter of fact, let's put a question mark here. It's a sentence. Or right here. You're saying aya bayafka. Okay? That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Aya bayafka. Instead of saying aya ha'awa'a. And you don't have to go through all of that. You can, but you don't have to do all that. And in Hebrew, there are words, there are shortcuts for that. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're trying to show you. Did I say that? I did that. I said that wrong. Yeah, I didn't mean shana. Anyway, pay no attention to that. Anyway, but if you want to say where is your house, you want to say aya bayafka. So to write it in, I didn't write it in Assyrian. I just wrote it in ancient Hebrew. That's the sentence that you wanted. Because it's just easier for me to write it this way. So I say aya. That means where, to reiterate. Bayafka. Bayafka. And that's what you want to write when you're writing the word house. Bayaf. Okay? And I'm pretty sure there are more words in here that you can use for that. But that's the word I'm going to use. Okay? Sloppy. All right?
you can say, where's your home? Bayata.
You can say this word, ba ya tha, which means home. You can do that. I could say bayataka. Where's your home? Or where's your house? Either one would suffice. I mean, it's not a. I hope you guys understand. I mean, I can say bayata, which is home, but I want to use house. Where's your house, man? Well, because a house is just a building, but a home is, of course, what you have made of it. I mean, it may not be a home. I don't know, but it's definitely a house. It's some sort of structure. But I don't know what kind. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you got there. Where's your home? I don't know. I don't know what you got going on there. But I do know that it's definitely a bayaf. That's the reason why I said it. You can say, oh, where's home? I can say, where's home? I can say, ayah bayaf. But I didn't want to say that. I want to say, again, to reiterate, ayah. I want to use the independent connector, ah. AH, you need the full sound, AH, ah. Then you want to use ya, but you want to use a ha there also, and that's what that is. But you want to drop the A because you don't need it. You don't want to say ayaha, you want to say ayah. So make that sound in the ancient Hebrew, ayah. Then over here, this is a ba by itself. You want to say yaf. That's yaf right here. This yaf. Of course, the ba is independent by itself right here. That's what that is, independent connector. Just like that. Okay? And then the ka makes the possessive adjective, makes the house saying, well, it's your house. Where is your house? Or in this, the water? Got it. The water, ma water. Yeah, ma water. Yeah, got it. Yeah, got you. And that's what that is. And that's what you want to say. Where's your home? Where's your house? And that's just another way of saying it, you know. Let me see here. See what else I was gonna do here. Let's see what kind of time we got here. 8:25. Yeah, we got time maybe for maybe one more. I like to take my time. I could put about 10 of them up here, but I mean I don't want to rush things so people will get things. But I want to make sure people understand when they have something written down, you know. So that's what that is. Where is your house? Where your house at, man? Or the same thing. I can just say, you know, where your home? Or I can say, ayah bayata ka. If it's a home. But I know it definitely is a house. So I say, where is your house? That's ayah bayatka. You know, you have to use a whole lot of words and sentences to make something. I learned that from the men above me. To learn, I think it was Officer Marab told me that, and General Kabal Amaf, and General Kabal Amaf, yeah, and Officer Marab, and I think it was also who else? The men above me that taught me. A lot of people, Officer Dawada, a lot of people taught me different things, shortcuts and things, and I'm just exercising those shortcuts. That's all I'm doing. Maccabia, Officer Maccabia, that's right. Out of Minnesota also. I learned a lot from these brothers, and Officer CHAAZAQ. You know, these brothers, you know, if I get something wrong, they'll get on the horn, they'll let me know, man, hey, straighten that up. And that's a part of learning. It's a part of learning. You know, you learn how to set something a little better and correct it because it's an ISUPK. That's what we do. We learn from the men above us. You know, that's what the officers learn here. We learn from the men above us. That's what we want to do. We want to keep everything straight, copacetic, you know, okay? And that's what they're saying since you said that, where's your home, okay? Or where's your house? You said home, so it's bayata, you know, bayataka, okay? We'll put one more down here. Let me see if I got, yeah, I got it, okay? Appreciate that. good teaching, man. You have good teachers. That's how you learn. And of course, the more you learn, the faster you can read it. The more fluent you can read it. And because I'm just still learning, a long way from perfection, but I'm always trying to strive towards some sort of perfection in this language here, man. Because this is the Most High gave to Adam to write it down, to give us and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from the Zerai, or the seed. Let me write that word down here, Zerai. If you ain't from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, none of this will make sense to you. You don't need not apply. I mean, you can look at it, but hey, you got to be from the Sarai, or seed. Like Christ is from the seed of David. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Yahweh is, of course, Judah, seed of David. And here the thing, when we learn, we're learning from all those men above us, man. That's what we've learned. We start and we learn right now. We're learning under commanding General Yohana, and he teach us, the seed. That you have to go by the seed. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. That's all of the 12 tribes, and that's what we're after. That's what you want to learn. Chicano. You said, what tribe is Chicano? Well, I think you're talking about Issachar. Is that what you're talking about? When you say Issachar is the Mexican tribe, okay? Oh, you're talking about, I'll do this last one before I get on, okay? Because we don't want to take over doing what we have to do. But it's let me make sure I get it spelled right. It is Issachar, yeah. Yeah, like this. Issachar is Mexicans. Okay? That's what they are, okay? That's what Issachar is. You might call them Chicanos or, but that's what they are. If your dad, like you said, your dad has said that's Issachar. They're the Mexicans. They're one of our 12 tribes, man. It's called Issachar, or Yashashakar in the Hebrew. In the Hebrew, if you read it in the Bible, it will say Yashashakar. But Issachar, okay? That's how you read that. All right? And I understand. So, let's move on further here while we got a little bit of time left in class. Let's see what we're going to write down here. We're going to write down, let's see what I want to write here. Let's do this one right here. Yeah, that's no problem, sis. I'll do this one. Oh, Slocky. Let's see. What else do I want to do here? Yeah. There we go. Let's do it this way. Let's see, I want to write this word here. Yeah. I got room here to write all this. Guys, see if you can interpret what, and write this down, not interpret, but write down what this is. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it this way. Oh, that ain't what I want. Dang. Sure not what I wanted. Let's do it this way. There. Okay, let's see. And then we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do that. Sloppy. Yeah, we might as well do. Then we're gonna say. Then we're gonna say. A long word here, sloppy. Let's see. Oh yeah, here. Let's do this like that. Okay, it's kind of a long word, but guys, write that down in English what that is, and then that'll be the last thing we do in class. Write that one down. Take your time. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Make sure we got that written down right. Y'all write that down. That'll be the last thing we do tonight. Okay? And our sentence structure, wish more people could participate because this is what you guys asked for, so we may do it again, get a little bit more technical with it. Lock it. Take your time and write down in English what that is, and then we'll translate what that is. Okay. But first of all, you got to write down what it is in English, so we know what the words are. That makes sense. Remember, Hebrew is written from right to left. Yeah. Write it down, take your time. Writing it will be the last thing we do tonight. There we go. All right. Y'all take time and write that down. Tell me what this is. Take your time to write it down. And tell me what this is. Matter of fact, move it over a little bit. There we go. So you guys can see it. There we go. from right to left. You know, what is this saying here in English? Take your time. We're in no hurry. Got Dina in class. Good. Dina, you're just in time to write this down. Glad you joined, sis. But what we're doing is we're writing down sentences. We've gone through a few sentences, even some extras that people have written. So I want you guys to tell me, what does this say? Because I wrote it in the ancient, so it can be easily translated so you can write it down in English. All you got to do is tell me what these values of these characters are and write it in English. And that is a sentence. Okay? Glad to have you. How about Shem Yahushai Barak? A thumb to all my brothers. How Shem Alatha Shem Yahushai to all my sisters. Glad to have you in class. Salute you. Okay? But that's what that is. Yep. So take your time and write down in the chat, Dana, Rebecca, Ratazak, Kwan. I think a few more people in the chat. And this will be the last thing we do tonight, so just take your time and write it down what this is. You know. Gotta write better than that. Write it better than that. There we go. Write down what you think this is. Take your time. Let's see. Becca got something down there. Let's see what she got. Dina, go ahead and write what you think. She has Shamar. She got Shamara. Wait a minute. She got that. She got Shamara. Another lesson. Then she has Ma. She has Ha. Okay. And then she has Ma. Da. Mathaza. Mathaza. Wathayam. Big words, so I gotta make room here. What she got? Mathaza. Oh, Mataza. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Mataza. She got
Matazah. See if I can figure out what she got here. Matazah. Matazah. The yum. It's a big word, huh? Like you tried to tackle it though, that's damn sure. Alright. We'll give you a few more seconds here when we put down exactly what it is. If you ain't close, you're probably right. Well, let's find out. Let's write down what it is. Okay. All right, let's write it down. Let's write down what she got. Dana said, I'm listening. Little ones. Got you, Dana. I understand, sis. Got you. I'm just happy you joined class with us. That's great. All right. The word is this. In ancient Hebrew, Sham, Mar. You drop the A, remember, Rebecca? And Dana, Quan, Radazak. Yeah, you do. You actually do. You're almost right. Shamar. Shamar means to keep. Like keep on guard or just to keep. That's what shamar means. To watch or to keep. You know, you can watch over or keep. And that's what we're doing here. That's what this word is means. You can put it that way. You can say keep or shamar, and that's what you're doing. Shamar in this sense. Shamar, and then you want to say ha. You know. And ha. In a sense, is just simply saying the. You want to say shamar, of course, ha, it would be right. That means the, okay? So far, so good. Keep the. And this word here, let's go this long, big old drawn out word. Matazah, that would be right. Tazah. Matazah. Matazawaf. You want to say waf, W-A-T-H, just like you've gotten right there. Okay? Now you don't need the A right here because it's being connected right here with the waf. That's what we've been talking about. It's matazah, waf. You have to drop that A. You don't need it. And then the last thing you want to put on here is yam, which is a plural. We'll write that down here. Yam by itself. Ya and a ma. So the word matazah, this is like matazawaf means commandments. It means commandment. And I made it plural because I want to say keep the commandments, so I put yam on the end. So it's matazah, it's mints. That's what that means. That means all of them. Yam, plural, all. And that's what that interprets to be. That's what, it translates to be. It's lucky for me using that word interpret. It's translate. That's what it actually says. Okay? Shamar. So we don't need the after this. You don't need this. After this ra here, you don't need an A sound. You don't need that So a shamar or keep. Ha by itself. The. It's just a preposition. That's all it is. It means the. It's a preposition. It's a preposition. Ha is a preposition. And commandments, matazawaf, means commandment. And I put the word yam as to add, keep all the commandments. Anytime you say, but most of the time, not any time, but most of the time you want to say commandments or commandments. Commandment, you want to always, children use to add, keep all of the commandments, not just one or two of them. right? So that's what that word means. And you just missed the tha, the ah here, and the ah here. You got to remember to drop there. That's why I use, to reiterate, that's why I use the ancient Hebrew so you can see it, because it's hard to see it in the Assyrian Hebrew. But when you join two sounds together, ma and ra, you don't want to say ma-ra. You don't have to say that, because that's breaking the rule. You want to just say ma, ah, m-a, because you got to give this full sound, then ra, ma, mar. That's where you get sha by itself. Then you want to say mar, without the a, mar, shamar, to keep. Okay? And you want to say ha. That's why we put ha. You got that exactly how it means the. It's a preposition. Okay? That preposition always goes before the noun. And commandments is the noun. And that's what that is. The commandments. Keep the commandments. That's what this is really saying. It says keep the commandments. That's what this is saying. To reiterate again, you don't need the ah here and the ah there. That's the only thing you really missed. And other than that, I mean, I would understand it if I saw it, but I would know when you said matazah wathayam, I know what you were trying to say, but it's matazawathayam, matazawathayam, and that's how we speak. That's why it's important to pay attention to the independent connectors and the dependent connection. You really need to work on those dependent connections, know what to drop and when to drop it. And ha, full sound, ma, taza, that's what we did, ma, taza. Ma, taza. And taza is just taza. You can't drop nothing. You have to go with ma, taza. You can't say ma, ta. Taza is the full sound. And there's no vowel after that. You don't want to say ma, taz. Taza is the sound. Ma, you keep that ah there. And then you have wath. There's your wath right there, right here, or right there. Wath. That's wa and tha. Th. You drop that ah. You don't need watha. You don't need that. And then the yam, which means plural. All I did was make the commandments plural. That's all I did. So let's clap it up for class. Clap it up for class. Seems like it's been a long and laborious class, but really what you've done, if you guys pay attention to that and roll this film back, roll the tape back, you'll understand, you'll see, man, there's a lot of effort put there, and you'll understand. Glad to have Dana in class, CHAAZAQ, Quan, and Rebecca in class. Glad to have you guys in class today. You guys did an awesome job. Let's see. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dana, yeah, exactly. And you got no problem. You guys write this information, roll the tape back and write. You'll see a lot of good information right here. And you'll understand what we've had written, okay? Sloppy. Okay, I'm gonna read some ISUPK announcements, all right? In class here. Security announcements. We're the ISUPK. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the brother and sister. When a brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, whatsoever amount you would like. The Holy Convocations that we have, let's see, what's the next one here? Memorial. We had the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of First Fruits, let's see.
Yeah. Feast of First Fruits will be the next one here. That starts, starts, starts the Sabbath of Unleavened Bread, Feast of First Fruits, Sunday, Saturday, April. Now, we've already done that, see. We've done that, I'm sorry, Slocky. Count 50 days, celebrate the 50th day, Sunday. Okay, let's go to the memorial blowing of trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, Sunday, 25th September 2022. Let's go back here. The Feast of the First Fruits starts the Sabbath, unleavened bread, sundown, Saturday, April 23rd. You count 50 days, and then, of course, we'll end it on the celebrate the 50 days, Sunday, June the 12th. That's when it will end, June the 22nd. June the 12th, 2022. Start before sundown, Leviticus 23, 10, and 22, of course. And after that, of course, we'll have memorial blowing of trumpets. That's going to come after that. But that's that's what we'll have on the Holy Convocations there. And then, of course, we're going to remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway if anyone wants to be a troop in the school and start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, and headbands and scarf. With that, we say, Shalom.